Hey guys, Brendan by the way, that audio guy. Today I'm going to show you how to spice up your drum tracks using distortion. Now the goal of this is to not make you think that you need to go buy a new plugin, because I'm going to show you how to do it on one that's built into Logic. The thing that I like about the Isotope Trash is that it is a multi-band distortion, so you have a little bit more control over the parameters. But here we go. So here is how you can take your drum sound sounding like this to this. A little bit more edge, a little bit more aggressive, and a little bit more bright as well without adding new EQ to boost the high end. So how do we do it? Well, one thing I love to do with Trash is start with the tape saturation. So when you open Trash on the modules, it has all these types of distortion. If you just click Saturate and then Tape Saturation, then that will take you to the tape saturation module. Now, I have only done the mid and the upper band, and these were just the defaults of where they were. So I started with the tape saturation. Okay, so this is this mid band soloed out. So what I did is I drove it a little bit right here. Okay, and obviously it was mixed in 100% when I started, so it sounded somewhat like this. Right, a little muddy, but it also has a lot of energy there. So if you watch my video on EQ, paying attention to where EQ should be in the drum video, you know that the 500, 300 area is a little bit muddy. So I didn't want to oversaturate that area, but I love the energy that was coming out of there. So I kind of pulled it down just to barely mix in, right? So here's without that. Just a little bit more energy, a little bit more aggressive, okay? And then obviously there's the high end. So this is with the high end soloed out, okay? So again, the tape saturation, and I cranked that up a little bit, and then this one I did at 26.9, right? So this is with it all the way up. A little too bright, too crispy. So if we pull that down to about 25%, then it kind of gives us that blend, right? And then of course you may be thinking, well, when you soloed that out, it wasn't just soloing out that frequency, and you're right, because right here in Trash there's a mix knob, and that's a global mix knob. I'd say that's about a 40-60 ratio right there. Okay, so here's without it, here's with it. Just gives it more life. Okay, so how do you do that with something that's built into Logic? Well, if you go right here down to audio units, Apple, AU distortion. So let's just go to town here. So it looks like it's already set up, 40% wet dry, blah, blah, blah. So let's just kind of overdrive this thing a little bit. All right, so as you can see, I just kind of messed with stuff till it felt a little bit more aggressive. I most definitely do not want to mix that all the way in, because then it will kind of just sound really nasty. So here's with the distortion that we just added. So you may notice that you have a little bit more boom in the one without distortion, and that's because this is just a distortion. It's not a multi-band distortion where we have control over what it's distorting. Now in that situation, I would recommend you can send to a bus, okay? And let's just go full blast here, and we will just do that here, right? So we will just put that distortion that we created on the bus, and I am going to mix it 100%. And I'm going to use this EQ and just knock out that low end, okay? So now it's just distorting that top end. So pulled out a little too much. Let's dial back a little bit. And then you just can kind of mix to taste. Just like that. And that's how you can achieve the same result that I did with Trash, but using plugins built into Logic. So hopefully that helps, guys. Spice up your drum tracks, use distortion, and use it creatively. It doesn't always have to mean that distortion is like distorting a guitar. You can use distortion in so many ways to just spice up your tracks, but do it carefully because you don't want to go overboard, obviously, or you could destroy your track. Go make awesome music, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. I wouldn't be doing these if these weren't helping you guys, so tell me the videos that you want to see. Tell me what's helping you. I would love to hear from you. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to the email list as well so we can stay connected and you can stay up to date on all the things that we're launching and all the promotions that we're doing that we send to those people. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon.